Joey Stepp. My name is Alex Green, and before I let Joey talk, sometimes in life you win some, sometimes you lose some, and then sometimes, Joey, you go 23 years and you just can't watch the footage because it doesn't go the way you wanted it to. That's what happened to Joey in the 1999 state championship heavyweight division. Now, I'm going to let Joey do a little bit of talking here. Joey has an amazing athletic career. I'm going to let him tell you all about it. But we're going to watch Joey's state championship video shortly. But before we do, Joey, you have the floor.
Alex, again, thanks for coming. Thanks for making the trip up to Winfield. Started playing ball, man, not to talk too much, but I went to Mingo Christian Private School and saw football on TV and told my coal-mining daddy that I wanted to give that a try. And he transferred me to Winfield Elementary School. And that's when I started playing football. They let me practice with the middle school. I think I was in fourth or fifth grade, because back then we didn't have flag football, little league, that kind of stuff. Played at Sheldon Clark. I was fortunate enough that I walked on to Marshall University, and 2 semesters in, they gave me a scholarship. Played with, countless NFL players. Some of the big names right now, Byron Leftwich is the offense coordinator for the Bucks, looking to get a head coaching job. Chad Pennington, played with him. Know Randy Moss from being down there. He was a year older than me. Made a relationship with Troy Brown. Ahmad Bradshaw played for 2-time Super Bowl champion with the Giants. Just countless. Doug Chapman played for the Minnesota Vikings. Just countless blessings. Got to travel. The first time I ever flew on a plane was with Marshall University. Got to travel all over the world and just experience things that was just so positive in my life, and this changed the direction of the direction of my life changed the minute I became a football player at Marshall.
And that's, you see his banner behind. I wore my Marshall green shirt today. But let's talk about that 1999 February evening. Now, as always, I've got Joey's bracket here. And in 1998, though, you placed 4th in heavyweight.
Yes.
Looks like you won a 2-1 overtime decision.
Okay.
I trust me, I've done the research.
Right, yeah.
Now, Joey's bracket. The first round, you wrestled John Taylor from DeSales High School out of Louisville. You won that by pin in 3 minutes and 23 seconds. The second round, you wrestled Joe Perkins from Covington Holy Cross. You won a 6-3 decision. In the semifinals, you wrestled Brandon Dumas from St. Xavier High School out of Louisville. You won that by pin in 3 minutes. Now, Joe Perkins from Holy Cross placed 5th that year, and Brandon Dumas placed 4th. So your road was pretty tough.
Right. In
the finals, you wrestled Chris Floyd from Wayne County. And if you were around high school wrestling in Kentucky in the 90s, the late 90s especially, you know the name Chris Floyd. Chris Floyd, 2-time state champion. He won it in 98, and he wins it in 99, not to spoil it. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Joey's story. If you're familiar with wrestling in the 90s and early 2000s in Kentucky, you know that we had districts, regions, and state. Now, I'm going to let Joey kind of give you the update, but these guys wrestled several times before. Joey, if you would, tell us the story.
Going into it, I'd only lost one match, and that was to Jesse Peck, who's now the head coach at Johnson Central. But I knew Chris Floyd, and it's hard to admit, I knew Chris Floyd was a better wrestler than me. He had a different style. As a heavyweight, I was a shooter. I like to do shots. He was a thrower, and he was just more seasoned, I guess. Going into district, he beat me district, region, and state. Going into district, my goal was not to win the districts. It was to try to find a way to beat Chris Floyd. Didn't work. I don't even remember what the score was, but it was always kind of close. Going into region, it was the same thing. Like, I'm going to try this. He's going to try to throw me. Maybe I'll try to throw him. Like, going back and forth, just experimenting, almost like a live practice session. And then, of course, we get to the state tournament and meet in the finals. And, you know, I think it was an exciting match. Like Alex said, I've not watched it. I don't remember if I even had a copy of it, but I know that Josh Munchney's dad had a copy of it, but I never went and got it. But truly, I've never seen it since living it. So this is going to be interesting.
I'm excited if you can't tell. Now, after your semifinals, you pin Brandon Dumas. I ask everybody this question. You have 4 to 6 hour gap. What's going through your mind? What's Coach Matney telling you? Where are you at mentally with this bout?
One of the coolest things that happened, Josh Stepp, who also wrestled with me.
Josh, you guys you need to watch Josh Stepp or his video if you've not seen it yet.
It's fun. He's the closest thing to a brother I ever had. He and I, our philosophy was, you win tournaments because you wrestle the least amount of matches. If you lose, you got to wrestle back, and if you wrestle back, then you're wrestling 3 or 4 more matches. So of course the goal was to win because we wanted to win, but the goal was to win because wrestling's hard. But once we got into the finals, of course it was just stay calm, stay loose. We actually went over to a hotel and took a nap. I remember we were at the Farnham Dungeon Center in Frankfurt, and I guess it's a Holiday Inn. And looking out the window and just looking down on the arena and everything and all the people outside and thinking like, wow, this is kind of big time. Coming from Inez, Kentucky, it was big time. Just staying loose. A tidbit, a funny aspect, I always got super nervous before matches. I know Josh talked about it too. I was actually asleep. So the 2:15 match was going on. Of course, my match is next. And I'm in the warm-up area. Coach Matney always told us to break a sweat. Break a sweat before you go out on the mat. And I love to jump rope, so I jump rope, break a sweat. Well, sometimes I get nervous and lay down. I lay down and took a nap, and I wish I knew who the kid was. But a young, 8-year-old kid comes up and taps me and says, hey, aren't you next? And the 2:15 match is still going on, so then I jump up, break a sweat, and go out and get ready, and then wrestle the last match of my career.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Without further ado, Joey, 23 years, are you ready for it?
Not at all. Not at all. It's been, the minute you told me you were 5 minutes away, my stomach started churning.
Now, I will say that the first video I put out, Josh Muncie's, Joey reached out and asked me, said, hey, do you have the 1999 video? At the time, I didn't. I made some phone calls, sent some emails, talked to some people. They got me in contact with the right archive. I was able to get my hands on it. Here we are today. Joey, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's go. All right, you guys are seeing, we're at the Farnham Dungeon Center that's called The Dungeon in Frankfort, Kentucky, February 20th, 1999. This is the 1999 KHSAA Heavyweight State Championship. Now, Joey, when hit the space bar, we're on. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's go. All right. Here we go. You guys lock up. We got Joey Stepp and Sheldon Clark in the green, Chris Floyd from Wayne County in the red. Joey's got the blue stripe down his singlet.
He was so strong in the lockup. Just so strong.
And that is a staple of Wayne County wrestling, is the throwing ability.
What a terrible shot that was. And of course, I'll talk about it at the end. At the end, remind me once it's over my perspective on how things played out as an adult. Because there's a coaching point for the youth in that there's got to be some time in this match that I'm not wrestling as hard as I could wrestle. But
all right, he's trying to control your head there. We know that's a staple of Wayne County. Going for that, those double underhooks, that body lock, looking for a throw.
Gosh almighty.
Now, right here, there he goes, trying to bump you up. Okay, gets the takedown. Okay. So looks like we got 2 takedowns. Now, was he just could you have stood up right there, or was you trying to ride out of bounds? Do you remember? Or
this is not to be arrogant, but no one could hold me down. I could get out anytime I wanted. And just a straight stand up, not even like a Michigan stand up or anything, nothing technical. Hopefully I do it. Hopefully I look like I know what I'm talking about. But simply came in and jammed to get arm control and came straight out. My biceps look pretty good.
Yeah, so you got some guns on you. There you go. You tried to jam right there.
And then I just straight up hand control, get out.
Good. 1, 2. That takes you back down. Now, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And again, looking back, one of my biggest flaws, which of course being 275 pounds, probably 285 pounds this day, I would stall. When I'm down, I knew I could get a point, so I would take my time on getting out. We were at Grundy, and I needed a point to win, and almost like the clock time run out before I just didn't realize that it was short time.
Yeah. And
then came out at the end to win that tournament. But I knew that I could get out.
Okay,
yeah,
boom.
Always.
Same thing. Turning in. Now, is Coach Matney yelling anything? Do you remember him saying anything?
Not that I remember. He's probably yelling switch here just because it's,
Oh, we're out. Okay. I see you reaching back for that switch.
It is so wild not having a clue what's happening. I'm trying to think how we. I don't know.
So there's 9 seconds left in the first period. Looks like you're down 2-0. All right, whistle. Turn in.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
nope. Yep, we're out. All right, end of the period. All right, referee flips the disc.
Always down.
Yep, always. Take down. Gotta do the heavyweight adjust the singlet.
Right,
Gotta get that half second of breath there. Just hang on, Mr. Official. My singlet needs to be adjusted. All right, there you go. Boom. There you go. You're out. We got one escape. All right, there you go. There's one of your shots.
No. And he was so good on his feet too. Like and again, I barely remember a lot of my matches, but normally I could get easy takedowns.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, look at Chris. Like he's in shape. Like he's not.
All right, Barry, you got busted for stalling.
Was that me or him?
That was you.
Okay.
So
that's
your first. Now, in case you don't know, in wrestling you get one stall warning, then after that it's a point that might come in handy later.
Is that still the rule?
That's still the rule.
Okay.
Yep.
In West Virginia they changed it that the second one you get a pick up or down. I think. Have they changed that or is it back?
That is, I think, on like the third penalty.
Okay.
Yeah. That was a national, but it's still warning.
There we go.
There's 2 shots. 2 shots inside the first minute of the second period. So you're saying shot was probably your best?
Yes.
Takedown.
Yeah. I had
there
this.
You go. Bear hug.
So tough.
Right, you're keeping a good whizzer right there. Circled out. Good. All right. Lock back up here. Looks like about 40 seconds left. Trying to change levels.
Trying to catch my breath, probably. See, looking back on it now, and I was capable of doing some throws. Like I wish I would have countered his throws with some throws.
All right, now it's got a stall warning for Floyd. So now the next stall for either wrestler is going to be a point.
And see, honestly, like, and again, I get it. I'm not a ref, but like, I don't know, like, to me, he wasn't stalling there just because we're working, but it is what it is. And of course, he and I both know there's short time, so we're just trying to get out of the period.
All right. So it's going to be Red's choice, Floyd's choice. Got to adjust the knee pads. Give me just half a breath there, Red.
That's it.
All right. So he's going to take down. Now, what was your breakdown? Like,
I was terrible on top.
Was you really?
Yes, terrible. I had hurt my wrist playing football, and my grip string's not strong. My grip was just not strong. I was the strongest guy in any weight room I went into, but a chop, but terrible, pulling him on my back. Or I do a spiral.
Right. Coach, you're trying it right there.
Man, Coach was such a good coach that we all had a first move, and we practiced our first move over and over. Yeah.
Okay. So call you out of bounds, but he does give the one escape. So now 3-1 in the third period.
Yeah, how do we get to where I have to take him down, I guess. I'm trying in my mind. I'm trying to figure out how we get to where it's tied. I know I'm up a point. I may not remember it correctly.
All right. So he's still trying to dig those unders. You're fighting it. You're pummeling.
Throw him. There it is. Ah.
Nope. Still got the whizzer in.
There we go.
Nothing. We're out. We're still neutral. Okay. Now, Matney and I think it was Coach Lewandowski.
Probably.
Was over here on this side of the screen. So, all right. So we got about 1:20 left in the third period. Do you have any recollection of this?
None. I feel like I get a takedown and then I cut him loose to try to take him down again.
All right, we're out. We're still neutral.
But with just a minute left.
We're down to 1:02. 1:02.
Did you do that edit?
Yeah, all
That's pretty
the
sharp.
screen edits I done. I tried to use a 90s era standard arcade style font to make it period accurate.
I do remember he took injury time, I thought.
Okay, yeah, we're going.
Because, and again, I wish that I had a fast, being 40 looking back, I wish that I was giving a little bit more effort. There we go.
There's a shot. Comes in, boom, gets
Boom.
the takedown. We got 2 green. Now we're tied.
Well, that was a good looking shot for a heavyweight.
All right, now
This is where he takes injury time.
Mr. Floyd takes injury time. Now in wrestling, I'm going to stop it here. In wrestling, we don't get timeouts like basketball, football. We have injury time, we have blood time, and we have recovery time, and now we have the concussion time. But injury time is 1.5 minutes. If the referee says, hey, Mr. Official, or if the wrestler says, Mr. Official, I'm injured, we're going to stop it and let the trainers, the doctor, the team personnel come over and check them out. This is the KHSAA version. It was not my doing, but the injury time is cut. From what the stories I've been told is that the entire injury time was taken. Do you remember?
Yeah, I just remember it being a long time. And,
Okay.
And I can remember the crowd yelling, because, again, what a weird time to take an injury time that we just got tied.
Right.
And trying to sound humble, even though we're gassed, I had just something inside of me that I'm going to die instead of be tired.
Right.
You know, you put me on this stage, I'm going to go. My gear is going to move a little bit faster. So I remember being frustrated because I felt like I got tied it up. I think I can get another takedown. I don't know that I can turn him or score points, but I wanted a chance with him being tired. But
Right.
I remember it taking a while.
Okay, so we're going to start it back up here. Now, Coach Matney's saying hit for stalling, but then the referee signals the injury time. Coach, remember what Coach Matney's telling you here? I
have no. I really don't know, but I think that.
Now we cut back. I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt you, but here we go.
Yeah.
All right, so you cut him. Gets 1 escape. He's up 1 point.
2 shots.
2 shots
Yeah,
right there.
I remember this. I remember 3 shots, but that was a terrible one.
We got looks like about 30 seconds left in the match.
I do know that I told Coach I wanted to cut him loose and take him down.
Do you realize, or you remember that you're down the point here?
Yeah.
All right, now, he stops it, boom.
Right.
Now, there was Floyd's second stall for 1 point. Now we're tied. Joey, there's 19 seconds
right
left.
Right here, Coach says, lady go in overtime, and I said, no, I got this.
Oh, okay.
And listen, like this is where it goes south. But again, 19 seconds. But I want to go after him.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
I want to go after him. And again, just
Right.
circling. Yeah, okay. And again, I'm trying to let it go in overtime, so I'm pretty much am stalling. I mean, whatever. 6 seconds, 5 seconds.
I don't see you backing up until about.
Right there, and you try to trip me. 2 seconds left.
Boom.
Yeah, that's hard to watch, buddy.
I can imagine. Now, you just saw what happened. Joey got hit for stall. He's down 1 point with 2 seconds left. You try a shot right there.
Yeah, I remember that.
The match ends.
Ooh, and that's how I remembered it. But of course, I didn't watch it.
Right.
So,
It's all right, big man. Clapping your hands. Shake hands.
I just remember the place going nuts. The place absolutely went nuts. 2 things.
Okay.
Being 40, and gosh, I've been blessed as far as an athlete. There were times, like, I got beat by a point. Of course, I should have went after him. I should have tried to get a takedown. And again, I'm going to listen to Coach Matney. Coach Matney was coach. And I remember, beat him in overtime, he's gassed. But again, in getting to overtime, maybe I stalled. And first, let's say it this way, and of course you're a ref, and I'm not trying to say anything about refs, but when the ref knows the match is tied. The ref knows there's only 6 seconds left. The ref knows we're trying to get to overtime. But the teaching point is, in the first period, if I didn't stall, like if I was given more gas in the first period, maybe I'm up 2 points instead of down 2 points. If in the second period, there's a time where I could have tried to score more. I don't know. It's tough to take. And shoot, we go to overtime. He may get a takedown. He may throw me in overtime, and he may beat me that way. But at least he beats me, and I don't get beat by a technicality. It's hard to watch. I'm glad I watched it, though. I'm glad you got it. God, it's been 22 years, 99, 21 years? 23 years since this happened. And I can honestly say, it was used in a quote whenever Coach Mandy passed away. I miss high school wrestling more than I miss playing ball at Marshall. And we were top 25 twice. We beat Kansas State when they were 5th in the country. Mm-hmm. Played at Tennessee. Played huge games, won big games, played on TV a bunch. So much fun showing my kids how I'm on ESPN. One of the plays that I was in was used on ESPN Plays of the Decade. But I think about my high school, my senior year wrestling more than I think about anything. In this match, and one of the best things that I could have done, and I didn't do it until 2 years ago, is I reached out to Chris. And me and my girlfriend were on vacation in Wayne County. We went to Lake Cumberland. Mm-hmm. And everywhere I went, I said, hey, do you know who Chris Floyd is? Tell him to meet me at the high school parking lot. And he knows this. We've talked about it. And everybody joked about, oh, how do you know Chris? And I said, oh, he beat me my senior year. But I reached out to Chris. Someone told me that Chris has some kidney issues and that he's been struggling. And I've honestly prayed for him since the day that I heard that and the day that I reached out to him. And selfishly, it brought a lot of closure to me to reach out to him and talk to him. He's a good guy, but he was my villain. He took something away from me that I wanted, and it's still hard. It's still hard to accept, but it is you life lessons. Yeah. Life lessons, and I love to talk about the butterfly effect. We don't know what every action is going to cause 20 years down the road. If I win that state championship match, maybe I'm a college wrestler instead of a college football player. I don't know, but. Grateful that it all happened. I'm thankful, but it is one blemish on everything that I try to accomplish that I can't stand.
Now, did it transpire the way that you remembered it?
Yeah, but I thought there was only 9 seconds left whenever I got called for stalling, but there was 19 seconds.
2.
There were 2. I'm sorry. Whenever it was tied,
right.
I thought there was only 9 seconds left.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever Coach Manning told me to let it go in overtime, I thought there were 9 seconds left. With 19 seconds left, I wish that I was go after him. Let's win. 19 seconds is a long time when you're standing toe-to-toe. I could have got a couple shots in. But again, I could have, Coach is smart. I could have took a bad shot and gave up points that lost it that way.
Yeah.
But at least that's the way I'm losing it. I don't know. Again, blessing. Not many people say that they can, they're number 2 in the state their senior year. And the beautiful thing about and of course I know it's changed a little bit, but, that second place out of all the state instead of a class.
Right.
That's, I take a lot of pride on that aspect.
Yeah, no, Kentucky's still just one champion. That's one of the good
way
things
it ought to
about
be.
Kentucky is, there's no divisions, there's no public-private split, 1, 2, 3A, 4A. If you win, you're the best.
You're the man, king of the hill.
You are the champion. So we're going to wrap this one up. Joey, thank you for coming on, doing this. I hope it gave you a little bit of closure. Hope you, was able to relive, and I know everybody's going to want to watch it because you're a very popular guy. You have if you want to, Joey has a magic.
Yeah.
Go ahead and if you want to talk about that.
I do anything from comedy shows to motivational shows. You can find me on any social media, Joey Stepp Magic. And again, that's just one of the blessings on the course that my life took. When I was a walk-on at Marshall, I started bartending. And I made a career out of bartending. Shoot, not many people know this, but I was ranked number 2 in the world as a flair bartender in 07, flipping bottles and stuff. But
wow.
I learned how to do magic tricks while I was bartending and turned that into a business. And pre-COVID, I was doing about 20 shows a month and supplementing my income greatly. I still do a bunch of shows, but I do any shows for anybody ages 4 and up. I'll be at Josh Stepp's gym on the 21st, I think, 2 Mondays from now. Mm-hmm. But I do shows at his gym quite a bit. But just blessed. But you can find me online, Joey Stepp Magic.
All of his social media is linked below. We're going to wrap that one up here. Thank you for having me. I'm at Winfield Middle School, where Joey is a guidance counselor.
Yes, sir.
So thank you for having me over. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Got a bunch more of these coming. Until then, we'll see you guys on the mats.